What's going on, everyone, and welcome back. This is Jordan with Conquering the Markets, and in this video I'm going to share with you the never seen before, never shared before, never released before Bitcoin trend following strategy. I'm going to share with you how to stay in and hold Bitcoin in the times when it is trending and you should be sticking with it. You're only going to have to take a few or a handful of trades a year, and what you're going to do is you're going to maximize your profit by staying in Bitcoin when it is trending and staying on the sidelines when it is not. Now, most of you recognize this chart without even me telling you what it is, and it is a chart of Bitcoin on the daily time frame over the last couple of years, and most people are familiar with this enormous run up into December of 2017, and then the sell-off, and then ultimately this break of the 6,000 floor until we are where we are today. Also, really quick, before we get into showing you how to trade Bitcoin with a trend following system, I just want you to look back at the previous price patterns of Bitcoin, and you can see that that pattern has played out before. All right, here we're looking at the 2013, and it looks similar to what happened in 2017. And then if we go back even further and we look back, we see that that also happened here as well. This seems to be occurring over and over and over again in Bitcoin. And I think that's largely due to the market cycles of Bitcoin, of having the halving of the miners rewards every 4 years. And this causes periods of both bull and adoption and then bear markets in Bitcoin. So now we're going to look at this same pattern that we saw over here, the one that you're all familiar with. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the true trend. Now, if you're not familiar with the true trend indicator, you could go ahead and find the link below, and it'll introduce you and tell you how the true trend works. And we're using a special setting on the true trend right now that's ideal for Bitcoin. All right. And also, what we're going to do in order to trend follow Bitcoin is we're going to pull up 12-hour chart. Now we're looking at Bitcoin, the same exact chart pattern that we saw, but on the 12-hour time frame. And this is ideal for Bitcoin trend following. Now, this means that there's 2 data points a day instead of 1 as there is on the daily. You're going to be able to see in a second as I go over and show you how this strategy works. And after seeing this, I'm convinced right away that you're going to understand that this is exactly the way that you need to follow and trade Bitcoin. There's no other way that you're going to be able to always be inside the market during its most efficient periods and on the sidelines when Bitcoin is actually trending down. There's no easier way to follow the trend in Bitcoin than using my true trend indicator, following this on the 12-hour time frame, and using the true trends custom settings of 333. Now here's why. Let's go back and look what's happened first over this recent period. And you can see here the true trend is positive. That means it's an uptrend, which means that you're long. Now, it would have got you out of this, just for perspective, you would have been long since right here, since October of 2015, right? You'd have been short from August, the middle of August 2015 until October 15. You would have actually got back into Bitcoin from cash, and look what would have happened. That was at a price of approximately, let's call it $250, right? So you've been holding Bitcoin for $250, and you're going to keep holding Bitcoin until the true trend turns negative, all right? Now, from 250 to 2,500 was 10x, and you would have, we're close to 100x, right? 25,000 would have been 100x, but that didn't happen, and you're still holding. And the reason why you're holding as Bitcoin goes from the high of, close to 20,000 and then back down to here is because you don't know when the trend is going to end. And if you start trading in and out of Bitcoin, you're gonna lose a bunch of Bitcoin. You're gonna lose a lot of money. So, and this happened, this whole period from when you were holding from $250. Bitcoin had large gains and large sell-offs, but you know that it's trending positively, so you're holding it, and you're holding it all the way. Once again, if you haven't already smashed the like button, please go ahead and do so. The true trend turns negative, right? right over here on about the 1st of February in 2018, and you would have sold at a price of $8,000. So you would have held Bitcoin from $250 to $8,000, right? What happens next? Over the course of this next, let's call it from February to the next 2 weeks, you went from being back into cash, into fiat, and then back into Bitcoin, and then back into fiat, and then back into Bitcoin. And during that whole time of going back and forth, you took either small gains or small losses. It was just irrelevant. The thing is to be on the right side of the trend for when the large moves happen, and the large moves always occur in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a new asset class that is figuring out price discovery, is gaining market share. The trends tend to be big, and that also has to do again with the market cycles of Bitcoin, which have to do around the halving events every 4 years. You would see here in the middle of February we got long again, and just to give you some perspective, let's call it $9,000, and then here almost 3 weeks later you wind up getting short. Let's say $10,000, 9,950, right? So it is a nice gain. It's a 10% gain, but you're not really looking for those gains here. What you're looking to do is stay protected and always on the right side. Right after that, you get short again, and you get short at $9,950, and you stay short. Remember when Bitcoin was holding that 6,000 level over here? I have to zoom out a little bit more to show you. I got a little ahead of myself, right? Because we're first over here. We got in at $9,950, and then over here the trend turned positive at $8,250. So again, that was a gain of about $1,700. The whole time you're gaining Bitcoin, right? The whole time you're holding Bitcoin when it's appreciating in price. You're in fiat when it's depreciating, and you're gaining Bitcoin because of it. Now we go back and forth over to here, and then small gains, small losses, until over here on July the 31st, 2018, at a price of $7,974, you get short again, right? And this is when Bitcoin couldn't no longer hold the $6,000 floor, and it broke. But you were short. You didn't care. You weren't worried about what was happening here. You just knew, because the true trend, because you're following the trend of Bitcoin, and it was down. The true trend was down. That you were in fiat. And then really simple, look what happened. You're almost doubling your Bitcoin right here by following this. Back over here, let's call this, let's see the exact date. This is on April the 2nd, 2019, at a price of $4,778. You get long Bitcoin again. You were short from 7,700. That's a gain of about 40%. You just almost you gain 40% in Bitcoin, and you're now long from $4,780 all the way to over here when the trend again turns negative, and that is at a price of 8,500. Again, you made 40+% gain on Bitcoin. You had to take a few trades a year, and you're currently short now on the sidelines. You're waiting for the true trend to turn positive again before you get back into Bitcoin. This is the simplest, easiest way to trade Bitcoin and stay on the right side of the market. And not only that, you're just going to keep growing your holdings of Bitcoin by doing it. It's not something that's going to take a lot of your time. You could set alerts here. You could set alerts on TradingView so that, add an alert. So when the value, right now the trend is negative, right? So when the value of the true trend turns positive, send me a notify me on my app and show a pop-up on my phone. Done. Now I have the alert set. I don't have to watch the market every day. I know that if Bitcoin were to go ahead and enter a new phase, a new bull market, I'm automatically already going to be on the right side of the trend, and I'm going to be holding it the whole time. Adversely, as Bitcoin goes ahead and enters the bear market, I don't have to think about it. I don't have to guess. I just have to follow the true trend, stay on the right side of the market, continue growing my Bitcoin. You do this over the next 12 years, over the next 3 halvings. No matter how much Bitcoin you start with, you're going to see what we all expect over the next 12 years, Bitcoin to have probably close to a 1000x because of the 3 halvings. And if you go ahead and you're trading in and out, you're holding Bitcoin during the bull phases and you're on the sidelines during the bear phases, whatever size Bitcoin you have, you're gonna continue growing that amount and accumulating more and more Bitcoin. Again, if you haven't already watched the video on the true trend, you could find it in the description below. Watch that video, learn how to use the true trend, and then go ahead and apply it to Bitcoin exactly as I showed you in this video. This is absolutely the best Bitcoin trend following system that you're ever going to come across, and I'm so glad that you did. I am so glad to share it with you. I look forward to sharing so much more with you together on this journey. Now, what you're doing with this strategy is you're maximizing your profits by only staying in Bitcoin when it is truly in a trending period. Now, this is kind of a set and forget strategy. You don't need to be constantly watching the charts. All you need to do is you go ahead and set an alarm on TradingView for when there's a trend change. And then when you get that alert, you know that you need to get either back with the trend into Bitcoin or into fiat if Bitcoin is in a downtrend. Because by staying out of the market when Bitcoin is trending down, and Bitcoin tends to really trend for long period of times, whether it's up or down. It's a trending asset because it's a new asset full of price discovery. But what you do is when it's trending upwards, you want to definitely be holding that Bitcoin. And when it's, enters a downtrend, by staying on the sidelines, you could almost double your Bitcoin. I really hope this video is something that could really be instrumental in your Bitcoin trading. It really defines the trend that we use the true trend for, and then you could go ahead and stick with it and stay with it. That way you could, during these periods of bear markets in Bitcoin, which are gonna happen just as the bull cycles happen, you could be out on the sidelines and almost double, if not more, your holdings, and then get back in when the trend starts rising again, as it's going to. Please go ahead, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. By utilizing this strategy, you're going to be much more efficient in your holding of Bitcoin. You're going to be increasing your holding of Bitcoin, and that's the name of the game, how much Bitcoin you're holding. During these downtrending periods, you're going to be outside of the market, and when the market goes ahead and swings back, your Bitcoins are going to have increased in number. Really awesome. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy to share it with you. Talk to you soon. Have a great day, everyone.